Rampage 2 Universal Tour is a smash 'em up game released in 1999 for the Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1 and Game Boy Color. There is a flimsy story thrown into the game here, whereby the three monsters from the previous game, George, Lizzie and Ralph, who are based on King Kong, Godzilla and a werewolf, have all been captured and are held in cities across the world. George is in New York in reference to King Kong, Lizzie is in Tokyo where you'd find Godzilla, and Ralph's in London. You know, American werewolf in London. That's actually a pretty nice touch, and when it was pointed out to me it put a smile on my face and I couldn't believe I didn't make the connection before. I'm a massive fan of all those movies. The actual gameplay follows the same tried and tested formula from all the games that came before it. Go to a city, smash it up, and for the most part this works. But as the usual monsters are incapacitated, you get to choose from three new monsters: Boris, a rhino unicorn thingy, Curtis, a giant mouse, and Ruby, who's a giant lobster. Each of those have their own attributes and special attack. Boris, for example, charges into a building with his big old horn, smashing it in one go. Ruby spins wildly with her crazy claws and breaks any windows and kills any people that are standing unfortunately close to her. And Curtis just sort of runs around on the floor, not doing a lot. One tip for this game, don't bother choosing Curtis. He has the worst stats and is just a boring mouse. The levels are all pretty short, and you'll be able to complete each one in just a few minutes, which is actually a good thing. With games like this, they can and will get repetitive very quickly, as, to be blunt, there is no variety at all. It's just smash, smash, smash. But when you're playing with a friend, this is a good thing. It's a game that lets you switch off your brain and just hammer the buttons until everything falls down. Also, it does put a little bit of competitive element to it, which is actually pretty good fun. It's not a cakewalk though. There are constantly goody army people looking to stop your smashing fun, and you do have a limited number of lives and continues, and they do get used up surprisingly quickly if you're not paying that much attention. Graphically, as I said, the style is pretty appealing. The characters and buildings are pre-rendered and have very good animation, and the little people are well-drawn tiny sprites, which have a surprising amount of character to them. It might just be me, but I love the look of this game. Music and sounds are pretty average. You're better off putting on a playlist of your own favourite music, to be fair, and the effects are just smash, growl and scream, but they do the job. I mean, I'm not really sure what else I was expecting in a game that just involves smashing, growling and screaming. Overall, the game is actually pretty fun, and it's not going to win any awards, and I can imagine it probably got pretty crappy reviews back when it was released, but get a couple of friends to play it with you on a games night, and you're quite likely to have a pretty good time with it. Oh, I did try playing it on my own for a bit, and that did get really boring really fast, so don't do that. Get some friends. Go on, get some. It's worth it.